Did you find it yet?
No. I've never had to bring binoculars to look at something inside the same building that I was already in.
It is a very tall building.
Yes, it is. We are at the National Cathedral here in Washington, D.C. It's actually the 6th largest cathedral in the world. So we're probably going to need a long lens to see a couple of oddities we came here to investigate.
So we're in the National Cathedral.
Yeah.
And there's all these gorgeous stained glass windows surrounding us, but we're looking for one in particular. We're looking for the space window. And why this particular piece of glass is so unique is because there is an authentic moon rock in the very center. I think I see something that might be it over to the right. It's in the middle of a lot of other stained glass windows.
That is a very different design than all the other windows in this building. In the red circle up there, right in the center, that's an authentic rock from the moon that was gifted to the National Cathedral by the Apollo 11 astronauts in 1974. It's the only moon rock that's ever been gifted outside of a government organization. Very one of a kind. The window was designed by Rodney Winfield, who's actually from St. Louis. The moon rock sits inside of the red circle. The green circle on the right actually represents the Earth. Dark circle on the lower right represents the moon. And you can see that white line that kind of comes down toward the moon and around. That represents the flight path of the Apollo missions from the Earth to the moon. It's very cool.
Commemorative piece.
Yeah, it's the only window in this entire building that does not depict a human figure. And it's also the only window that is one continuous image rather than 3 separate panels or multiple separate panels.
I believe it took over 4 years to create, and it's 19 feet tall.
In keeping with our space theme here, we're actually going to make a transition into science fiction, and we're going to go find Darth Vader's head on the outside of the building. Yes, that's a thing.
So no visit to the National Cathedral would be complete without finding Darth Vader. And I just want to point out real quick that this looks like something from ancient times.
It does.
But it was actually complete. They finished building it in 1990.
Wow.
So not too long ago, but it does replicate kind of the ancient cathedrals that you see everywhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Right here in the city.
Yeah.
So we're not going to look at this. This is a cheat sheet for how to find Darth Vader.
Okay. Let me frame it out.
But from what I heard, it's supposed to be somewhere in this area.
So I got this longer lens. Hopefully we can see it. He's way up there.
Our weapon of choice to find Darth.
So in the 1980s, National Geographic World Magazine held a contest to design some of the grotesques that adorn the outside of the National Cathedral. And wouldn't you know it, Darth Vader won 3rd prize.
Of course he did.
So they put him up there.
Do you happen to know what the difference is between a grotesque and a gargoyle?
A gargoyle is a type of grotesque. They both involve channeling rainwater away from the building so it doesn't erode the exterior of the building. But a gargoyle actually has piping and infrastructure built into it to channel the water, whereas a grotesque is just, like a head or some structure built onto the side of the building to deflect the water.
All right, let's see if we can find him.
Found a shady spot here, hopefully.
Oh, good.
I mean, he's literally way up at the top. It's also very bright out here.
It is very bright today.
Let's get this in focus, shall we? So he should be between this tower and this tower. So if you follow this pinnacle down, he should be right there at that little A-frame roof. And there he is. You can actually see him. See that? That is Darth Vader.
Oh, wow.
And you can see beneath his mask there, you can see 2 tiny little angry fists. Wow. What a trip. Who knew Darth Vader, of all people, would be immortalized on the outside of the National Cathedral?
And the Moonstone. 2
great examples of just little surprises you'll find here at the National Cathedral. We're not going to cover everything today, but if you have a chance to come tour this place, it's totally worth it.